Oh, there are 11 people already. Hello, everyone. Hello, please let me know, can you hear and see at least something? We will begin in a couple of minutes. I'm just getting ready, preparing the light for our talk, and we will begin. I don't see the chat moving here, please. Let me know, can you hear me? Guys, now I don't know if you can hear me, so just a second. Yes, friend, the audio video is great. Thank you, friend, thank you. It's good. It's good. I will show you myself in a second. I was preparing for to see you in a couple of minutes. So this is the light. Now we will make it a little bit not so bright. Hello everyone. Hello, my dear Voyagers. We will start in 5 minutes, but probably I will walk with you a little bit around and chat with you. It's been a long time since I've had the last tour on, I wanted to say hey go, but on my YouTube channel. And winter is coming to end here in Prague, so I will be treating you with more tours during the springtime. So let me try to fix it like this. Okay. Hello everyone. We are going to have today kind of a friendly talk, and I will share with you my emotions, my thoughts, probably a little bit of philosophical content that I usually don't allow myself to share on my usual historical tours in Prague, because I think, let me know what do you think about this. I think that it is not always interesting, and I think that sometimes people who are coming to tours to hear, let's say, about Prague, about the landmarks, they might be irritated or not interested in my personal views connected to Ukraine and to the war in Ukraine. However, I sometimes want to share what I have on my heart. Hello, Christine. Hello, Margaret. Hello, Marilyn. Hello, Claire. Hello, Julie. Hello, Linda. Hello, Fran. Hello, Marilyn. Hi everyone. I know that there are, you are all people, the names that I know, you are all people who know me, who have seen probably me on my first tour 3 years ago. So it's the 24th of February today, the 24th of February, and exactly 3 years ago our lives have changed. I mean, my life has changed completely. I think that your lives have changed also, but probably if we compare your life and my life, I had more changes. And yes, thank you, Julie, that you are writing these supportive words, that it's okay for me to add something from my heart when I'm talking even about the historical sites. And the way how the life changed is just unimaginable. I could never think about myself reading this war news every day, following them, oh my, there was the dog, very fast dog, sorry. It's like a horse. So I could never imagine myself reading the war chronicles, the news from them, like how this fighting line is moving every day, because there are great changes every day that are happening on the front lines. And now my life is all about the things that are connected with the war in Ukraine. So I even prepared some kind of, not plan, I have a notebook, because when I just started thinking about what to tell you, I had really a flood of different thoughts and emotions, and I just wanted not to lose any kind of thought that I wanted to share with you today, because I think that Today I have the right to be boring. So please write me in the comments if you feel like I feel that the head is a little bit disturbing. So if you feel that I'm going a little bit like deep into my philosophical, I don't know, points of view and my thoughts, please let me know about this, and I will try to be more, I don't know, more concise. So hello again, everyone who joined later. We will start in 1 minute. And my tour will be today, just you will see my face, and I will be talking about the facts and about the thoughts that I wanted very important for you as the foreigners to know about this war. Probably you haven't heard about them, probably you have heard from some kind of analytics, but your questions are also very welcomed. Go as deeply as you want to go. Thank you for such a great support. So do you recognize where I'm starting? And I will be just walking here around this monument. Probably we will walk a little bit further when we will talk. We will see how it goes. So this is the monument to communism and totalitarian regimes in Prague. As you can see, at night it is beautifully illuminated. I was making this kind of similar kind of tour last year about war in Ukraine on the 2nd anniversary, and I think it wasn't illuminated so beautifully, and now they made this illumination, night illumination. So I will flip the camera and we will wait for 1 more minute for other people to join, and I will tell you what I want to tell you. So this is the communism, the monument to totalitarian regimes, and I think it's very, very, it fits the situation because it very strange. It shows some. You see these guys who are descending from the hill, Petrzen Hill, and they are naked. They are naked, but at night they look very, very sinister. When I was in Ukraine preparing for the Babin Yar, for that Holocaust tour, I saw the picture of this monument, and I thought that it's like dedicated to Jews and to the Jews who were killed in Terezin, probably in Czechoslovakia and Czech Republic back then in the World War II. But no, it is the monument to totalitarian regimes, and it shows how the personality changes, how it's just disappearing. And this is what is happening right now to the world and to the people who are suffering from those totalitarian regimes. Czech Republic was under the Soviet rule for 4 years, and now it's the true member of the European Union, and they really deserve to be in that union, and they are very supportive to Ukrainians. So this is the place where I will be talking to you today. Now you will see me. 5 more people joined ours. Hello everyone. Let's start. This is the official start of our today's tour. It's not a tour actually, it's kind of the anniversary talk dedicated to the 3rd year of war in Ukraine. And I wanted to begin with a massive thank you and with my gratitude to all the people who were supporting me on that day when the war started. I was not on the street as I am now. I was at home in Kyiv. I was talking to you, and my voice was trembling. People in the chat were writing just some kind of try to give some kind of peace to that lady, because I was really very nervous, and I could hear the bombings behind the window, because on the first days there were constant shellings of Kyiv and other cities, and that was the new reality, as I told you. Now people in Kyiv live in that new reality. And even this night, 185 drones were sent to Kyiv alone. Can you imagine? Not to Kyiv, like to Ukraine. Can you imagine 185 drones? One drone damaged the the high building, multi-story building, and but still people live and they are not scared anymore. Like they are scared, but they accustomed to the war, and this is the new reality for Ukraine. And if you choose to come there, you need to go to them deep down to the metro station to be safe, because this is the place on the earth which is really different from the rest of the world. It's interesting that many people didn't believe that the war would start, and even in Kyiv, where the information was more available, I mean that I personally, a few days before the invasion, went to a cafe with one of the ladies from the embassy, and already the Canadian, Australian and US embassies, they were evacuated. It means that already on the 22nd of February it was decided. They knew the war would begin. It was decided. They knew the time of the first bombings. They knew everything. As we know now, our president didn't want to scare the people. That is why it wasn't announced like for the audience, for the majority of the people, for the ordinary people. But people in Kyiv who work in the embassies knew that this is decided and the war would begin. Why we didn't believe? Why we ordinary people didn't believe? Because we want to follow the logic. We are logical people. But the problem is that Putin doesn't have any logical sense, and he's illogical. We know that now. We didn't know that in 2024. So we were thinking, how is it possible that someone would just kill us here? Like you think, oh, I have internet, I have a washing machine, I have hair dryer. How could anyone can come and kill me for this washing machine or for some kind of household appliances? That was what was happening in Bucha, and that also became the new reality, because when the Russians came to the small cities that surrounded Kyiv, they paid that price. So they were killing and looting them and just taking the household appliances and killing the civilians for nothing. To tell you the official statistics, as for today, just in missiles bombing in Kyiv alone, 210 people died, including 11 kids. In Ukraine, this number is not possible to count, because in Mariupol alone, tens of thousands of civilians died. It was the population of the city was about 500,000, 500,000 people, and we don't know the number of the people who died in these bombings. Hi everyone, hi Sam, hi Tracy. So I just wanted to tell you that we were not prepared, because we were believing in some kind of logical sense, and also that was the reason why we were so naive. In 2014, when Putin annexed Crimea, we also didn't believe in that. We gave our nuclear weapons, we give our strategic bombarders, we gave our weapons, and we signed so-called Budapest Memorandum. This is the memorandum where US and UK were kind of guarantees. We received guarantees from these countries that they would protect us. And now we see how the situation in the world is changing. At first, our American allies were with us. And now I'm not talking about American people, because I know from all the flood of your kind messengers that Americans are supporting Ukraine. I mean, the Donald Trump is changing the world order, and believe me, you may not even feel safe now if you are staying in Europe, because probably we don't know the future of NATO bloc. We don't know if Donald Trump will continue to protect Europe as well. Now what we see from the news, that probably the new European kind of protection bloc, military union will be born, including Ukraine, because Ukraine has so much to offer. We have this wonderful army, experienced army, who can fight, who know the tactics, who already tried the new weapons, and we will be welcomed. We will be one of the organizers. I think this is what I can hear from some kind of European leaders. I just received the message from on Telegram that the leaders of France, UK and other countries are trying to figure out what to do next when they don't have the support of America, protection of America on their lands. And this was my first thought. I didn't believe that the war could happen, because we were too logical, and we don't know, we didn't. Oh my gosh, I lost all my papers. Just a second. Why Putin is doing all that? Does he want Luhansk and Donetsk People's Republic? No, he wants the whole Ukraine. Why does he want the whole Ukraine? Because this will give him the power to sit on one table together with China, US and Russia. So this will be the leaders of the countries that will control the world, either in military or economic way. But as I see now, the people in America, they don't want to have a king. They want to have a democratic ruler. But we don't know what Donald Trump will make in future, because what we see from his behavior now is that he's really changing the order of everything, of the defense system of Europe, and he is like the businessman. He is interested in money, but I think that this is the fact that really brings people to the great wars, when the kind of the history is just washing all this kind of immoral behavior, probably, because what is happening now to Ukraine, I mean, what is he planning for Ukraine, what is he doing for Ukraine, is really immoral looting. I'm speaking about this new treaty about the rare natural resources. So Ukraine has to sign this treaty about and give the rare natural resources to America. Can you imagine, the country who suffered from war, whose people were killed, the territories, 20% of the territories are occupied, and Trump is saying, okay, now give the money back. However, this money were granted. They were not loans. The money that Trump is speaking about, they were grants for Ukraine. So we don't have to give them back. And now we have to give all our natural resources and even our the ports, the infrastructure. So a lot of things to pay for that. I think it is immoral, and I think that it's the world we live in is not just about business. It has really something that we need to carry in our minds, like this moral, these moral principles that we have to stick to. So now we are joking, the war started 3 years ago, and now we are joking about Trump and Elon Musk because everybody understands that Ukraine didn't invade Russia, as Trump says. Zelensky is not a dictator. The dictator is sitting in Moscow. Russia is the country that didn't see the democratic elections. I think starting from the 2020, and Russia is the country that should have really democratic elections, not Ukraine. Ukraine will have democratic elections. What Trump is doing now, he's uniting Ukrainians again. He's bringing this drive, this spirit that we have in the first days of war, when Ukrainians were united. Now we are united around our president. We don't want anyone to, we don't want to allow anyone to, to hurt him, in the sense that we are not so happy with Zelensky as well. We know that he has got his own faults, but we don't want Donald Trump just to tell Zelensky, go quit. And of course, this might be happening because if you know that Trump had I don't want to take that he's taking a revenge. Probably he's just he wants to you remember that his last term he had some kind of questions with Zelensky and with his elections. So probably he has his own grudge for our president, and he just wants to change him. I think 53% is right, but there are different kind of people can support him as a president, but probably they want to change him in future, but not now, because now it's really not possible for Ukraine to organize the true elections. And even if they are organized, Putin will say everything was done not in a proper way because the soldiers didn't vote in trenches, or they didn't vote correctly, or they were forced to vote, and those migrants, the refugees, they didn't also vote in this kind of the system, electronic system that they want to imply. So at the end they will say that elections are totally wrong. So what is the point of running these elections? I think that probably Putin and Trump would not like the new leader that we would vote for or elect in these new elections as well. And then we will have the third round of elections, who knows. We cannot elect the president that Donald Trump likes just to please him. So I think that we will have the election. We need to have the elections after the war, but who knows what will happen. And approving rating of Zelensky has risen because of what Donald Trump is doing and how he united. But what we know now after that happened, that we have to take everything in our own hands. We don't have to wait from any kind of magical wand from the West. We need to rely on ourselves and on our European allies. This is the only way we can win this war. This is the only way we can survive, because the Ukrainian soldiers, they are not, Ukrainian soldiers, they are not winning the time for our families, for our Ukrainian children and people. They are winning the time for Europeans as well. A lot of people think that the war will come to to Europe anyway. But Europe has to be prepared. It could be unprepared if now Ukraine just is given as a present to Putin, and then Ukrainians will fight on the Russian side. I mean, they will be forced to do this. If Putin, this is what is happening on the occupied territories right now. He's taking the Ukrainians and he's sending them to war. So if Ukraine is now given to Putin, he will go further. UK has been fighting for Crimea since 1815. I know that. On the 2014, when Russia annexed Crimea, that was a big triumph for them. They were rejoicing with the fact that they could take someone's territory. By the way, let me know the fact that you don't know. It's very interesting, and I want to hear from you on the in the chat if it makes sense to what I am telling to you about 2014. So Crimea was annexed. Yes, I see, Lily. You are meaning Crimean War, not the modern period of time. So Russia annexed Crimea, and then Russia occupied territories, some part of the territories on Luhansk and Donetsk, and people they make some kind of referendum. Of course, the Russians were forcing people to vote for to become this Donetsk People's Republic and Lugansk People's Republic, and this is how the war started. Can you hear me? These leaders of Lugansk, LNR and DNR, Lugansk People's Republic and Donetsk People's Republic asked Putin to recognize their independence, and it is totally wrong from any kind of law. For example, for some foreigners it might seem okay, and they were asking me even before the war, why Ukraine doesn't let Lugansk People's Republic go, because people want to be Russians, or why Ukraine doesn't let Donetsk People's Republic go, these people want to be Russians. So listen to my answer. If you are, about me, let's say about me, I love France, and I love French food, I love French culture. I can't, and a lot of people around me love French food and French culture. We can't take France to Ukraine. We can't say, oh, now this is France, French Republic in Ukraine. No, I need to pack my bags and go to France. You see, I should pack my bags and go to France because the country that I love and I think that I belong to this culture and to this country already exists. So people in Lugansk and Donetsk Republic, if they consider themselves Russians, they need to pay their bags and go to Russia, to live in Russia. Because it is not possible to create the new country within the country when this country already exists. Of course, we have the examples like Albania, for example, or Kosovo, or Buryatia. In Russia, they have about 10 or even more these national ethnicities that can form their countries. For example, Albanians, they have their own culture, their language, but they didn't have the country Albania. They didn't have the country Albania. That is why they wanted to make this country, to form this country, to create this country. And what happened in Ukraine? Putin said that this Donetsk wants to be kind of Russian Federation, and Lugansk People's Republic, they want to be separate because they feel themselves Russians. No, it's not possible according to any law, and even in Russia it is not possible. They will never let any republics, their kind of ethnicities and nationalities form their own countries. It is prohibited, but it is totally fine to take other countries' territories. Because, so this Donetsk People's Republic, they don't have their own culture or language. There were just 12% of Russians. They were Ukrainians. There were Ukrainians who lived there, and the same about Luhansk People's Republic. So they didn't have their unique culture, and they asked Putin to recognize their independence. That happened on the 22nd of February. So he recognized them, and he started the war kind of to protect these new countries that he recognized as the independent countries, and he decided to protect them. Now, a lot of people have illusions that we can stop the war, Trump can stop the war if Ukraine just abandons what Russia occupied. It is great illusion. Even if Ukraine decides to give up, to give these territories that already are occupied by Russian forces, it will not satisfy Putin. For the start, he would demand all the regions, the regions that he wrote in his constitution. He will demand Donetsk region, Luhansk region, Kherson region and Zaporizhia region. These territories are not totally occupied. A lot of armed forces of Ukraine are protecting that territories. My parents, a lot of people are living under they're part of those territories are controlled by Ukraine, and exactly. Oh, traveler, you're here. Hi, Jalil. So yes, you're right. The next months will be very, very important. So I even forgot what I was talking about. I wanted to tell that just remind me what I was talking about. I was talking about the fact that Putin will want more. They will have the whole territories of regions of Lugansk, Donetsk, Kherson and Zaporizhia. This will never happen because Ukrainians are living there, and he will make Trump to push Ukraine to this deal. He will make Trump to he will demand Trump to push Ukraine to reject all these territories, all these regions. For a start, it will be the first step, and then he will demand even more. But to start with, we will have to abandon our 4 regions. Can you imagine what will happen in Ukraine? What would happen in Ukraine in this case? My parents live in Zaporizhia. I have grown up there. This is my home, and people don't want to become Russians. And all at once, people had to just leave the territory, and we would have to change our constitution and to write in our constitution that we don't have these regions anymore. I think this would have this political changers in Ukrainian society, and this also what Putin wants. What his goal is. At first, to weaken Ukraine, and if he can't win the war in military way, he will continue further by making the elections, demanding the elections, then making his puppet kind of government, and then trying to destabilize the situation within Ukraine, and in future just to have some kind of Belarus. But he doesn't know, or probably he knows a little bit now the character, the nature of Ukrainians. He was hoping to have Kyiv in 3 days, but he didn't even think that we can protest so much, we can fight, and we can be ready to die for what we are thinking is right. He was not ready for that. If you have any questions, please let me know. I will just look what I wanted to share with you more. So I already told you about Lugansk and Donetsk. And another interesting fact, Putin is always saying that Ukraine is kind of fictitious, something fictitious. It was the country that it was invented or created by Lenin. It doesn't exist. It just Russians, like Ukrainians, are Russians who don't know that they are Russians. So Ukrainians don't have their culture, their language. It's just some kind of distorted Russians, and we have to occupy them, to reteach, retrain with our propaganda the children, and then they will be okay living with us. So this is the main idea of Putin, why what he is doing to the occupied territories. He is not allowing any Ukrainian traits, any Ukrainian signatures to stay there. He turns the territories that he already occupied into the Russian, like the Russian everything. He completely underestimated the resolve of Ukrainian people and the Ukrainian government. That's correct, friend. We are very resilient, but it's so many tragedies, so many deaths, and when you are looking at the eyes of the women who returned from the Russian captivity, what they came through, and not just women, men as well. You hear their stories told in Ukrainian. Sometimes I don't know how YouTube allows to like these speeches to appear, because it's just horrible. It's not possible to imagine how such atrocities might be happening right now. Today I was thinking, like, these children, Russian soldiers, they were kind of growing, they were also, eating, drinking, walking on the streets, singing the songs, doing something, and then they became like the devil, like the evil, pure evil. I don't understand how people can do such atrocities to the people. The torturing of Ukrainian prisoners of war are tremendous, and the way how they kill them unarmed forces when they want to become the prisoners, they just kill them, brutally on the battlefield. If you remember, there was a month ago, there was one very specific case when there was a fight between two soldiers, and the Russian soldier, he was kind of Buryat or something like this. Today Putin gave him the reward, like the star, some kind of medal for the medal of honor for what he has done. So they were having the night fight with the Ukrainian soldier, and Ukrainian soldier was already wounded, and he pled him to give him the last moments to die peacefully. No, he cut him brutally with this knife. He didn't let a Ukrainian soldier to die peacefully. He was already dying, and for that, Putin today gave him the Star of Honor. And what is interesting to me, is that how Trump can say, okay, Russia will stop the hostilities, will stop bombing like this war, and we can make the business. We can be wonderful business partners in future. How is that possible? Is that any kind of is it okay that the leader killed hundreds of thousands of innocent people, demolished cities, infrastructure of the whole country, and the president of US says, okay, we will continue, just let him stop that, and we will continue business as usual. I think it's really very, very sad that it is possible now to because it should be punished, not to continue business as usual, but to punish Putin for what he has done to the country that just wanted to follow the European path. That is all. It shouldn't be like let's continue, but it's okay. Everything is okay. It's all right. We need this business, and we need him. We need Russia as a partner. No, it should be punished. It should be punished, and severely punished. So if you have any questions, please let me know, and the talk will be more natural. Of course, we all would like to have our world more secure, more fair, more justice, but as I see this couple of days, the world is not about justice. The world is about power and strength. So Trump is honoring and respecting just the countries that have this kind of that are strong, that have nuclear weapons, and he just how would say demise the countries like Ukraine. If you don't have nuclear weapons, if you are not rich, I'm not interested in you. Just where is that Ukraine? I'm not interested in that. I think it is totally wrong, because it should be the balance of like, this is we're not about just totalitarian regimes. We're about democracies. We're about the kindness, some kind of humanity. So I think that it's totally wrong just to give Ukraine to Russia on the plate. I think that won't happen. I think that we will fight with our European allies, and they already understand that they need to have some kind of own protection, and probably the military union will be formed. And Lily is writing absolutely correct. Russia wants sanctions lifted. It's awful. It's horrible that I already read the news. Even now, a couple of minutes ago, South Korea already announced the lifting of sanctions from Russia, and these, like the other countries, will follow this pattern. So they saw that it is possible. Like he is not in isolation anymore. Russia is not in isolation. Putin is not in isolation. Everybody is coming, talking to them. So why not? They will lift the sanctions, continue the business, and who knows what would happen to my poor Ukraine. So I will just look here. I'm looking at my notes, because before the talk, I just wanted to make some notes what I wanted to tell you about. We always try to be optimistic. We always try to believe in in good outcomes. I mean, about Ukrainians. And I hope that this would not happen. Ukraine will not be abandoned. But still, we need to prepare for the for the worst. I mean, technologically prepare for the worst and for the worst case scenarios. I think that now Putin is dragging Trump in that bloody swamp of his war, and I don't know what would happen at the end. Would Trump end at that bloody swamp, or he would understand that something needs to be done, and it's just the trap. I don't think anybody knows what's happening with Trump and Musk. Yes, nobody knows, but still we are dependent on their decisions. And now everyone is surprised. So I think that even European leaders, when they go to sleep. They think like, what time is it? Is Trump talking now or not? Because they don't want to miss any news, and they don't want to miss any kind of new speeches from Trump. Because every day brings something. Like today, for example, then NATO, do you remember that? Today NATO was making their resolution about Ukraine. On the 3rd anniversary of the invasion, there is the resolution where all the countries, of the Security Council of, not NATO, of the Security Council of the European United Nations condemn the invasion. And you know what? US offered the new text of this kind of paper in that resolution. US doesn't mention aggression, doesn't mention Russia as aggressor anymore. It's very, very important that all the countries and United Nations already voted for the resolution in Ukrainian kind of version, and all the countries except US, Hungary, and I don't know, China probably signed Ukrainian version, that countries condemn the Russian aggression against Ukraine, condemn it, and it is aggression. So it's interesting that even in that, in this kind of in this political sense, Russia is saying, US is saying that no, it's not aggression anymore. Of course, it's not very good that we abandoned our nuclear weapons back then, when Ukraine just became independent, and now we don't have anything. Like, we can ask US and UK and other countries who signed the Budapest Memorandum for the compensation for that nuclear weapons as well, just as Trump is asking Ukraine for these natural resources, rare natural resources treaty. So we can ask for the money for our nuclear weapons and strategic bombardments and all these kind of weapons that we just gave away. But still, Ukraine had the third biggest potential, nuclear potential in the world, and we just gave it away. What I wanted to tell you, I wanted to take you to some other place. Let me show you. I'm so glad that you are here with me. So I just decided to walk with you to the city, and to make it kind of not just standing around this beautiful man that belonged to the totalitarian regime, but to show you the city. So now for the rest of the tour I will be walking and talking and answering your questions. So we are walking away from this monument to the totalitarian regime, and probably we will hop on the tram, I don't know, because we are quite close to the Malastrana, the lesser town. So let me show you. This is the famous alley. Now it's not in the cherry blossom. This is the cherry blossom area and alley. So I remember that last year when I was standing there and finishing the tour on this war anniversary tour, the buds were already ready to bloom. Now they are not ready to bloom, so this spring will be late spring in Prague, but still we have time for the spring to come. And I'm so grateful for your support. By the way, if you want to support me and my family, there are 2 links, PayPal and Buy Me a Coffee. They are pinned and they are in the description to this tour, and I'm very, very grateful for your enormous support. Just the support that you gave to me through these 3 years, whole 3 years of my life here in Czech Republic. And I had some kind of Yes, I found some small apartment, very small apartment. So I had some kind of family problems with my youngest kid. I lost my apartment here in Prague. I had to find the new one, and it appeared to be kind of very, very difficult. I think that the real estate market in Prague is as bad as it is in Paris or in Rome. It's just not possible to find an apartment. You have to be Elon Musk to find it. You have to pay really the huge sum of money, and it doesn't worth that money. In the neighboring Austria, for the same amount of money that I am paying for my apartment, you can have I could say the palace. This is happening because they don't probably build anything here. I mean, they build, but very, very just a few houses, and a lot of people want to live in Prague, work in Prague. So it's kind of a very popular place. So according to the statistics, 108 people pretend for one single apartment, and the prices are huge, and the quality of the housing is awful. So this is the story of the real estate market in Prague, and my personal story. But still, I'm here, and I will try to stay here as long as I can afford doing this. Thank you, Cheryl. If you want to support me, there is the PayPal link and Buy Me a Coffee link, and I'm very grateful to all the people who are supporting me. Oh, this is our tram number 12, but I will not run to this. So I am walking in the city with you. Let me show you. It's called Lesser Town. It has some kind of very beautiful tiny streets. You see very narrow streets. Of course, there are cobblestones. Malastrana, this is the place where the nobility, like noble persons of the king, of the emperor, used to live. And because behind this house there is the hill, and there is the American embassy, and behind it is the Prague castle. So that area was inhabited by the rich kind of friends of the emperors and kings. Cozy cafes. It's not touristy time now in Prague, absolutely not touristy time. It's just the kind of shoulder season, how it's called. I think that February is the worst time to come to Prague. It's cold, it's not beautiful. Even March, late March will be much better than February. People, the situation with refugees is changing. And you are right, Julie, that sometimes the Czechs are not so welcoming anymore, just because they want to live their own lives, and if it's okay, they can accept us Ukrainians if we are kind of working, paying taxes, and living as usual people. If Ukrainians are wanting some kind of help or assistance, it's not welcoming by the Czechs. Still, I think Czech government is one of the most welcoming to the refugees, to the Ukrainian refugees, because President of Czech Republic, I respect him so much, Petr Pavel, his name is, he is amazing. He is supporting Ukraine. Just yesterday there was the huge kind of meeting to support the Ukrainians and to mark this third anniversary of war. I would like to show you the murals in Prague, so they look like this, and continue our walking with you. It's really, Czech Republic is one of the countries who are tremendously on the governmental level, thanks to the NATO officer, or he was the probably NATO general president Petr Pavel. They are supporting us tremendously. Oh, it's some kind of interesting place. I don't know what is it. Some kind of statues, very beautiful. I think it looks like a palace. So this is what I was talking about, the cute palaces of Mala Strana. You see, you just turn the corner and you see some kind of statues. Very beautiful. I have never been here. In spring, it is spring in Prague is incredible, because it's all about this almond garden. I think it's one of the biggest almond gardens in Europe, and I will definitely take you there. The almond is blooming like for quite a long period of time, and very early is the first flower that begins to bloom. Why? Can you tell me why I'm walking, and there is no tram stop? Now I can see it. So we have already reached the St. Nicholas Cathedral. My children are with me now. Probably my youngest child will, who knows, like probably he will go back to Ukraine. He will try to live there. My elder children will stay with me because they want to study here. They want to live here. They don't see themselves living in Ukraine anymore. This is another kind of problem, the other issue of this war, that a lot of families were, not just lives, but the families were broken, and the children, they don't want to come back, because they don't, especially teenagers, they already built their lives here or like in other countries, and they don't want to go back to Ukraine because they already studied the language. They are studying somewhere in the some kind of institutions, schools, universities, and they see themselves as the citizens of other countries. And of course, the boys, they are not allowed to cross the borders. Starting from the age of 18, they are kind of locked in the country. And this is the reason why it's very sad, that I have to give my children to leave them in another country and to go back to Ukraine myself. So many families and lives are broken, and every story is unique. I will tell you now the story. I was sitting when you're changing the apartment in Czech Republic. You have to go to, there's a bureaucracy, red tape. You need to go to a lot of institutions, and I would like to tell you the story. Don't go away. I'm going inside the tram, and I would like to finish at the Charles Bridge, so I'm taking you to the tram too. This is how the tram looks like. So we are traveling, you see? We are traveling, and I wanted to tell you that I was sitting close to the lady. Her house was ruined in Ukraine, and she showed me the keys. She is always carrying the keys from her house. The house was bombed, the house was ruined, the house doesn't exist anymore, and she's still carrying the keys in her bag. It's a story that could be really a plot of a movie, and these stories, there are hundreds and thousands of them, how the lives of Ukrainians changed. When I saw those keys, I really wanted to cry, because it's incredible that she said to me that she would never throw them away. Never. She would never throw the keys from the house that doesn't exist anymore. This is the page, the episode from the life of the refugee. So we are about to finish in 5 minutes. So let's finish in the picturesque place. Of course, this is going to be the iconic Charles Bridge. We are here. Let me show you. I will show you how incredibly Prague is during the night. These trams, they are usually red. Sometimes modern ones are blue or have different advertisements on them. This is St. Nicholas Cathedral. You see this green cupola with the bell tower, and the bell tower has the small room on the very, very top of this green cupola. This was the office where the like Russian spies, Soviet spies were spying, were overhearing the embassies. So there is even the museum, small museum with the toilet, with the telephone, and it's very simple, but the person was sitting there and just writing everything, and then another agents were sitting all around the city in some kind of basements, and they were following the people who were entering the embassies and where they were walking. So this is the point where they were spying after the kind of the connections of Czechoslovakia, back then Czechoslovakia, with the Western world. Just on the top of that beautiful bell tower. This is St. Nicholas Church, and you see this kind of passage. I want to go there inside. It used to be like the marketplace, and it covered the stalls, the people from the rain, from the sun. So it's very beautiful now and has a lot of kind of cafes and restaurants inside them. Now, as you see, we have the local time is 8 p.m. in Prague, and it's not that crowded. Yes, Victoria, that was incredible just to find them. To find the apartment, that was I was already packing. I found the apartment, guys. I found the apartment on the last day, just in the last day before moving. So I really had to go outside on the street. It was cold, but Ukrainian style, just at the last moment, at the nick of the time. So these are the traditional souvenirs. You can buy this kind of glasses, vases, crystal. And I love the keychains because it is very practical. You always see, you can open the bottle. If you like to drink beer, let me know. I will send you this can opener or bottle opener. So we are on the side of the Charles Bridge that has 2 towers. One tower belongs to the old bridge, this one, Judith Bridge, and this belongs to the Charles Bridge. And this is my kind of new home, but I still don't feel here like at home, I understand that I don't feel here at home. I love Prague, and I will always remember about this city, about the country that gave me so much, that gave me this wonderful 3 years. But still, but still it is not home. It's not the place that I can call home. It's very beautiful, but not home. I know that during the summertime, this street is full of the people, like it's absolutely completely covered with people, and now we can enjoy the empty streets and the incredible view. You know, the kind of the sight, the views are not different from the summer now, because there are no trees, no greenery, just the architecture. So it's still like this historical part is absolutely similar during the summertime and winter time. This year we had snow just once in Prague. I couldn't even film it. I wanted to film this beautiful, I know, the roofs covered with snow. No, it didn't happen. The snow just appeared for short half of the day and then disappeared. My parents are absolutely not very good. Unfortunately, they are very close to them front lines, and Zaporizhia is attacked all the time. There are missiles every day, and as I already mentioned to you, Putin wrote this Zaporizhia region in his constitution, which means that in the case of negotiations, in the case of the ceasefire, the condition of Putin would be to give Zaporizhia region, together with my parents and with my home and with my city, to Russia. And I don't know what to do. They are scared to stay because my mom works at school, and the teachers are prosecuted on the occupied territories, and she has bad health. So I think that it's very fragile, very bad situation, because it is under the constant shelling. They can reach with them, not with the kind of long-range missiles. They can reach the city with artillery already, some parts of the city with artillery. And in the case of the ceasefire, the demand of the Putin would be for the Ukrainian government to leave the territories and to give the territories to Russia. The same that happened to Czechoslovakia probably in 1938, when the country was given to Hitler without any fight. So Hitler didn't occupy the country. Probably he occupied something, I don't remember exactly, but this called of kind of, what was München Treaty, München, I think, Munich in English, Munich Treaty, when Czechoslovakia was given to Hitler. But it wasn't occupied, just because he said, give it to me, and he received it. The same is happening with Zaporizhia and with other territories which are not occupied by Russians. Of getting your parents out safely. Yes, now they can get out safely. So currently my parents live on the territory that is not occupied. It is under the control of Ukraine. The buses, the trams, I don't know, everything, the transportation is working. They can leave absolutely safely today, tomorrow, or I don't know, any other day. I'm speaking about the time, like the scenario when the whole region would be given to Russia. Yes, you're right. There are a lot of similarities with the beginning of World War II. This is correct. So let me show you something more beautiful. We are on Charles Bridge already, And still, this year, the city authorities completely changed the illumination of the statues. Probably they looked at me how I was walking on my tours with my light. Never before, now you can see each statue is illuminated. Never before that happened. So they were under the reconstruction for a couple of months. So Charles Bridge was in total darkness before Christmas. And now each statue is separately illuminated. Before that, if you remember, I was walking with my light and like illuminating statues for you. And now everything is illuminated. Guys, thank you so much for your support on Buy Me a Coffee, on PayPal. It's incredible that I can have you as friends, that I can take you and share with you my hopes, my emotions, my thoughts. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Larry. Thank you so much, Cheryl. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Julia. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you so much for, thank you, Julie, for your donations. Thank you. I'm spending the time with you, and it's kind of, it's a healing time, I could say. It helps so much, like I'm coming to the friends, and you can hear me, you can listen to me, you can, you are interested in my life. Now we are all living in such kind of healthy, trying to live in such kind of healthy realism, because we were believing that US will be always supporting us. Now this situation changed, and we really don't know. Currently, every single day brings us the news and brings us some kind of new information, and it's so important. So what is the changes are tremendous. They are so great. So we really don't know what would happen in a week or in 2 weeks. Yes, Keys is a strong link with her home, with her past life, with her true self that she had in Ukraine, with the person she used to be there. Today I looked at the mirror and I recognized that I changed so much during these 3 years that I live in Prague. I really changed, like physically changed, and that is why it is also very sad. Yes, of course, Americans are also not all Americans are happy with what Donald Trump is now doing, and not all of the Americans are supporting him and his ideas, but still this is your president. I still hope that NATO will survive these 4 years and after that everything will be in order. He will not ruin everything. I hope that Trump will not ruin everything during his presidency, like the term of his presidency, and there will be the world that we used to be. Really, now we have this joke that Where are those wonderful COVID times? We would like to go back to those wonderful COVID times when we were just having these masks, trying to find the new vaccine or something like this. The world recovered from COVID, but Ukraine is like from COVID jumped directly into the war. And currently the country is really, I could say, like how many years? It's not ruined completely, but how many years will it take to restore the economy and to restore the infrastructure, the electrical, all these transformator units, all these things. So let me finish with some positive vibes of Prague, because it is just beautiful. Charles Bridge is incredibly beautiful at night. I think it's even more beautiful at night than at day. Yes, I see that you are writing that you are terrifying. COVID times were terrifying, but in comparison with the war, for me, I was happier during the COVID times than now. Europe lives very quietly, safely. Like here, I'm walking on Charles Bridge. Everything is fine, but like in Ukraine is absolutely different. A lot of the people are crying, a lot of mourning, a lot of funerals. These awful situations, the awful stories when guys are coming to them to the short leave from the service, and then the wife or the girlfriend gets pregnant, and then he is killed, and the baby, the child is born, and the child is walking to the cemetery and kissing the picture of the dad. There are so many kids who were born during such kind of the short leave when the soldiers are given 7 days, let's say just 7 days, and they are coming back home. And of course they spend this time with the family, and there are so many kids that are born without fathers, like the wife is still pregnant, but the husband is already died. There are so many tragedies in Ukraine, and it's very hard to find happiness and joy, and you feel the guilt when you are when you are going somewhere to the restaurant, when you are trying to enjoy the life. You feel this, like people are feeling this guilt. Oh, here is my mom. Like friend is saying hello, Tamara. I'm so glad that my mom can see me. I haven't seen my mom for 3 years since the war started. I haven't seen my mom, and I want to go back just to see her. You know, it's natural. It's quite natural to have this desire to see your parents a little bit more often than once in 3 years. And I hope that this will come true. So thank you so much. I will bring to you more Prague stories, Prague tours, and I am grateful for the COVID times that it gave me the opportunity to find Hego and to find you as the friends. Thank you. I will walk with you up to that tower to show you a little bit of bridge and say to you goodbye. Thank you so much. Cheryl is writing, Tamara, leave Ukraine and join your daughter. I was inviting my mom. It would be much easier for me to cope with my kids, like to not to punish them, like to educate them. But my mom thinks that it's kind of difficult to live in another country because of the medical system and of the language. But I think that if Russia comes, he would go. That everything depends on the Donald Trump now. If he gives Zaporizhia region along with my home, I think that my mom will join me. So I would like to show you this gorgeous evening when the spring is just knocking at the door. It's still cold. It's about 0 degrees probably, but it's very so this is the real Prague, when it is the mist, when it is a lot of dampness in the air, like a lot of fog in the air. So this is the real true face of Prague. When you hear, like you see people when they are breathing, they can, like when they breathe out, you can see their air is coming from their mouths. You can see that it's cold, and I could say that if you stay in this kind of weather, it could bring you a depression. But as you're saying, very soon almond trees will be in blossom, and and everything will be green. But this is when Prague is really beautiful. It's very unique at this point of time, and one of the most beautiful bridge towers in the world. It's really incredible. You can just take a cup of tea, thermos flask, and be happy that you are living. Really, I'm so happy, I'm so lucky that I am in Prague, because I was living these 3 years in one of the most beautiful cities in the world. With this gratitude, we will finish here. I'm grateful to you, my dear friends, and I'm grateful to this city of Prague, because it is so beautiful, and I'm so blessed that I'm living close to Charles Bridge. No, I'm not even close to Charles Bridge, but some kind of close, because in this city I'm living close to this incredible beauty, and I can share this beauty with you. Thank you, and see you next time. Thank you so much for your contributions, for your help, for your support. See you next time. I hope that my perspectives, my views of this war were entertaining, or just added some kind of information, Ukrainian, like some Ukrainian perspective to your vision of this war. We all have different opinions. Of course, I respect your choice as Americans. I know that I have a lot of American friends, but you, like the things that I have read in the chat, really showed to me that not all of the people are happy with what the president is doing, and I still hope, as a Ukrainian, I have this hope that everything will turn for good, for something that not for the terrible, but the situation will improve. Thank you, and see you next time. Goodbye. Goodbye. See you. Goodbye.